All right, our political analyst, Brian Sobel, is back, and I want to bring up the final standings, if you may, and look exactly at the numbers here in the Republican race. Brian, I know we saw Donald Trump kind of with the overpowering win right now with 35%, Kasich 16%, Cruz 12%, Bush and Rubio both with 11%. I guess my question about Donald Trump is voters in New Hampshire, do you believe it's their belief that they believe in the man on the face, or do they really fall behind the issues that he supports here?
I think at the end of the day, we're seeing something that's really unique. You've got Donald Trump, who's appealing to the same 20–30% of people in the Republican Party who are really dissatisfied with government. Ironically, Bernie Sanders is appealing to people who are very upset with government and that sort of thing on the Democratic side. There's a lot of similarities between people on the Republican side and Democratic side not happy with government, looking for new people.
Well, with that said, should the Republican establishment there be ready for Donald Trump, not as he being the nominee? Should they start to prepare themselves for that? And then also, I got to ask about John Kasich, because it seems like, wow, second place? Where did that come from?
Well, with respect to Donald Trump, it's a long way to the end of the line.
So maybe after Super Tuesday we can answer that?
We'll see a lot clearer after Super Tuesday as to Donald Trump. And then the John Kasich story is very interesting. He set a record for doing town halls in New Hampshire. He did over 100 of them. He was all in on New Hampshire. He needed New Hampshire. He was done. And today we know, Carly Fiorina and Chris Christie are out, but it very well could have been John Kasich. So he's all in. Now, he's got nothing left in the tank necessarily to move on, but he's going to try. He's putting calls out to all kinds of people.
Tank money-wise?
In the tank, yeah, in terms of money, to go on and fight in South Carolina.
Is the real winner here Ted Cruz, because of his first place finish in Iowa and coming in third?
You could make that case, and he was virtually untouched. He got the job done. He's out of New Hampshire, moving on. But another winner on the Republican side may have been Jeb Bush. You think about it, Jeb Bush kept himself in the game.
Right.
And South Carolina, over the years, very good to the Bushes. So you don't know. If he scores very highly in South Carolina, can he gain some momentum?
Brian, I saw a headline. Let's talk about Democrats now.
Sure.
It said, Clinton regrouping while Sanders takes victory lap. Does Hillary Clinton need to regroup now? And we're hearing more and more headlines about Bernie Sanders now trying to court the African-American vote.
Well, she needs to take seriously what happened. Bernie Sanders, not just won, of course, and it did
22%.
go along. Yeah, you're right. He won big. and so that had to be a message that Hillary Clinton is not resonating with a whole lot of people, including the minority community.
Right.
And
that's historically, though, that's been the Clintons'
absolutely
group. That's
absolutely
what support them.
Yeah, and so while she's still doing well, she's concerned that Bernie Sanders is going to cut into those numbers.
Wow.
Young people supporting Sanders, a whole spectrum of people supporting him.
Young people, minorities, I mean.
Yes, I mean he's got some momentum. The real truth of the matter is that it's always in the math. But you can't knock anything going on with Bernie Sanders right now. Almost wins the Iowa caucus, maybe did, and then wins big in New Hampshire.
But does that mean that Clinton needs to restructure her campaign message at this point?
Yeah, I think.
And how do you do that at this point?
Well, I think you try to find yourself to be relevant on the issues with the groups that she isn't tracking very well with, but you can't invent that. You can't just come up with it in a day. So I think she went back really to kind of retool a little bit and say, we're missing out on a lot of people here. We need to figure out how to reach those folks.
It would be a shock, though, if Hillary Clinton lost South Carolina.
Yes, yes, it would be a shock. But, Bernie Sanders has to go down there, and maybe the shock is that he finishes very close.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, it's a good fight.
Oh, yeah, it's
good
the season.
Politics, right?
It
Yeah, absolutely.
is the season. Brian
Brian.
Sobel, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.